Hello everyone, today we are going to have a look at the pointless top 10 rats in World of Warcraft. Yes, you've heard correct, today we are going to have a look at rats. I can't believe it myself, it's crazy. But yeah, let's check them out.
Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Pointless Top 10, a show where we make top 10 lists out of pointless things. Why are we flying by this pointless statue in Booty Bay? Because inside pointless things are treasure. Let's begin. 10. Number 10 are the ship rats. And I picked the ship rats because they're your standard World of Warcraft rat, but I think it's a cool setting to be in Borealis, honestly. That's partially why I picked it. But I wanted to use this opportunity to do some rat facts because, we're going to be, talking about rats. Might as well learn about rats, right? So rats are actually intelligent. They can count to 10 and they can be trained using positive reward-based methods to do things like respond to their own names, give high...
You know what? I watched a show and this was funny. So there was some, I don't know, it was like cheese or something they put, they had this kind of labyrinth, right? And in this labyrinth, there was a piece of cheese somewhere and a rat had to find through the labyrinth and get to the other side. It was so funny. This rat actually knew how to get to this point and stuff, right? So yeah, that just shows that rats have a very good orientation. And if I'm not mistaken, I once saw a mini game where a rat could turn on a lamp. I don't know why the rat turned on the lamp, but it was some sort of mini game. And if the rat is successful, some door, small door opens and they get food. So yeah, I saw a rat turn on a lamp, find the end of the labyrinth and get some snack from there. So they are pretty much smart creatures, very smart actually.
High fives, fetch a ball, and roll over. Rats show empathy with other rats. They go through multiple stages of sleep.
But I still don't want a pet rat.
They laugh when they're tickled. Well, they more emit a very high-pitched squeak, which is kind of like laughter. And then the big one is rats are very clean animals. Rats often spend hours grooming themselves or each other, and it's now thought that the Great Plague of 1665 was actually spread by human lice and fleas and not by rats. So really, rats got a bad rap. They're just, they're just going around being rats, and everybody blamed them for this big plague, and really, it's the humans' fault. Classic humans, dude. But besides the rat facts, I think rats are cool. Look at them. They're just running around. They're having a good time. They're actually going really fast. Which I guess rats do go pretty fast, but that's why ship rats are number 10. 9. Number 9 are the temple rats of Zul'Gurub. And you might be like, Krendor, these look like ship rats. There's nothing really special about them, but that's where you're wrong. Temple rats are rats that are located in the Temple of Bethik in Zul'Gurub, and they can be collected and given to prides of Bethik, so they go into a rage earlier as intended as part of Here Kitty Kitty, which is an achievement for defeating High Priestess Kilnara after having fed temple rats to 4 of Bethik's pride. But the best part about this isn't even doing the achievement. It's just the fact that you can pick up the rats.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that. You could have your own rat pet. You sit around. Although the rat's kind of freaking out. You're just sitting here like, I have a rat pet. And the rat's just like, I got to get out of here. I got to go now. I got to go fast. But really, he just keeps going, man. Look at that rat go. But, I mean, as far as picking up rats is concerned, I feel like this is one of the only places in the game where you actually get to pick up a rat. So for that reason alone, it had to be on the list. But, it's got some little achievement lore behind it as well. And it's not like they were just sitting in a room and they were like, what if in Zul'Gurub you could just pick up rats? They're like, yeah, let's do that. Right? There's usually a reason behind it. But yeah, that's why temple rats are number 9. 8. Number 8 is the blue wax rat catcher, and the blue wax rat catchers are blue wax kobolds that are wandering around inside Candle Rock in High Mountain.
Let me guess. So he's saying that kobolds are rats now too, but just in the giant version of it. But if you look at kobolds, they do have a lot of rat-like features, right? Their tail is very rat-like, and even their face kind of looks like half rat, half human. I actually wonder, what is the origin of kobolds? Is the origin of goblins? They were once smart, then they got stupid, and then smart again because of Kejimite, right? But were they not with the Titans or something? I think goblins originate from the Titans. I hope I don't mix this now up with gnomes, because gnomes clearly had a mechanic form and they were with the Titans and stuff, right? So I don't know about goblins, but where do kobolds come from? Centaurs are the like the next generation of, what is it, like Therazane or what her name was, like some elemental person, right? And together with the son of Cenarion, right, or something. And that's like how the Centaurs came to be. But where are kobolds from? I don't understand this.
8 is the blue wax rat catcher, and the blue wax rat catchers are blue wax kobolds that are wandering around inside Candle Rock in High Mountain accompanied by rat pets. And like the rest of the blue wax, they are normally hostile but turn friendly when a player is wearing the Skull of Bossing Around, and neutral while they have the Friends for Life buff. Their pet rats have any of the following names, which are Blue, Chewy, Gnar, Violet, Penny, and Ollie. And according to Wowpedia, when spoken to,
lovely names.
they will say things like, "Rats make good friend, unless rat bites. Then rat makes good meal. Rat's not afraid of darkness. Rat's tastier than rabbit and easier to catch. Chewy bites me sometimes." And if the player enters Candle Rock without wearing the Skull of Bossing Around and kills a rat catcher's pet, they will yell one of the following, which is, "I'll catch another rat after I kill you. No, Violet. And you'll pay for hurting Penny." And there's a couple other ones based on which rat you've killed, but you get the picture. So overall, this is just a weird kobold cave where instead of caring about candles a lot, they care more about rats, which I think is fantastic.
Say a hobby.
Also, that cave entrance just looks like a weird Geodude to me. I don't know if you guys can see it as well. You can see like the face in it and stuff. Maybe I'm just seeing things, but I do want to do a pointless top 10 faces in random objects. I think that would be a fun one. So this guy might make that list.
Hey, does it? Let's get back there. Does it really look like that? A little bit, actually, yeah.
Weird Geodude to me. I don't know if you guys can see
like
it as
an
well.
elemental
you can see like the
dude.
face in it and stuff. Maybe I'm just seeing things, but I do want to do a pointless top 10 faces
like
in random
elemental
objects. I think that would be a fun one. So
dog.
this guy might make that list, but either way, these guys are number 8. 7. Number 7 is the Rat Stallion, and the Rat Stallion is easily one of the best mounts in the game, if not the best mount in the game.
Is that a star mount?
And you actually earn him from the Underbelly Tycoon achievement, which is achieved by collecting 20,000 sightless eyes in the Dalaran's underbelly. You get a letter that says, "We found this creature clawing at an unidentifiable corpse in the back tunnels of the underbelly, and we were immediately reminded of you. I sincerely hope you find it to your liking." And if you look in the mount journal, it says years of chain-chugging potions in Dalaran's sewer system have allowed him to grow large, agile, and shadow-resistant. So, really just a fantastic mount, an extremely unique mount. There's no other mounts like this. You know how some just have reskin?
Do you guys see that? Like how there are like those skulls on the side and stuff. I really think this is such a good-looking mount, actually. Like look at this. Here's no more light. Like look at those skulls. Like the way you sit there. This looks though like not a alliance, but more like a horde mount, right? Like when you look at it, like the skulls and stuff like that. I think this one is great for... Wait, what races would match a lot? Definitely Forsaken, like Undead would go well with this mount. You could also say like Goblin will go well with this, and perhaps maybe Troll, right? Thor and Orc is maybe not matching much, but if you play a Goblin or a Forsaken, I think it really looks cool. Troll probably too, because they have like a lot of skulls and stuff. And I don't know, could you fit like a gnome on this kind of from the line side? I'm not sure if the skulls are really the theme for a gnome. Like what I try to do, and maybe I've become a bit picky in WoW, but I try to make my transmogs and my mounts fit also my race these days. Like something like, if I'm like an undead hunter, for example, I would go for like undead pets, right? Or like undead mounts. But if I'm like a gnome or a goblin, I always try to go with the technology stuff, so yeah. But that's a nice mount. I need this one.
And shadow resistant. So really just a fantastic mount, an extremely unique mount. There's no other mounts like this. You know how some just have reskins and stuff?
The
Rat
Stallion cool with that,
is the Rat Stallion. He is what he is, man. He's just a big rat you can ride around on. And I just always love this guy. He's such a good mount. I would actually love if Blizzard added more weird mutant animal mounts. Just like, oh yeah,
imagine
this crocodile
was
like swimming around in this magical water, and then he became just a giant magical crocodile that can fly around. Like, you know, just get crazy with it, man. I'd love that. Although somebody'd complain. But listen, somebody's going to complain about everything. Either way,
we need a duck
I think the Rat Stallion is easily
mount.
one of the best mounts in the game. And he's one of the best rats in the game for that reason. And that's why the rat stallion is number 7. 6. Number 6 is Recipe Rat. And Recipe Rat is located in a random room of the Zakera Vaults in Forbidden Reach. And if you interact with it, you can pick up Recipe Rat, which is an item. And if you use it, it is an attempt a civil negotiation with a captured rat in effort to obtain its closely guarded recipe. The rat is looking for fine aged cheddar and will...
That's a reference to, what is this movie called? I think Ratatouille or something, right? Like there's like one movie where actually it's for kids, but adults can watch it too. It's like an animated one where there's a rat and the rat gets to a restaurant and he becomes the famous cook of the restaurant. Then like there's this one, okay, I don't want to spoiler it, but if you want to watch like a very funny, fun animated movie, like check out Ratatouille with a rat that becomes a cook in a restaurant. I think that's an Easter reference to that. I'm pretty sure.
Provide 2 to 7 time torn recipe scraps when using the item if players have cheddar in their bags. The item has a 5-minute cooldown, and while it is on cooldown, the rat will eat some cheese on occasion.
I love that it has a head.
If you collect 30 scraps, you can acquire the Deviously Deviled Eggs recipe.
That's
also,
a skeleton
he's got a little
turret?
chef hat, and he reminds me of Ratatouille. So overall, I was like, okay, this is like a Ratatouille reference. That's pretty cool. And it still might be a Ratatouille reference, but this is actually an interesting read on Wowhead. Somebody said in the distant 80s in the USSR, newspapers described the story of how one person was able to interact with a rat on equal partner terms. So essentially, kind of summarized here, the guy would bring food scraps and cheese for the rats, and then the rats would bring bills, like money, for the cheese. So he would just keep swapping food scraps for money. And the rats were just like, oh, sweet. They said maybe the rats were getting money from a bank or like an old USSR warehouse where dilapidated bills for destruction are stored. Not really sure. Even if this isn't a reference to that, I thought that was pretty cool, right? You just start giving rats some cheese and they bring you back money and you're just like, what? All right.
You can get rich
either
like
way,
that,
I mean, this is still just a rat in a chef hat, which is pretty great. And that's why he's number 6. 5. Number 5 is Bastard the Rat, and as you probably guessed, it is a reference to a rat bastard. At least I think it is. I don't know. Seems like it is. And Bastard is a rat located at the Circle of Wills in Dalaran, and he's just sleeping next to his owner, Underbelly Bonnie. That's her name, Underbelly Bonnie, and I guess she's like the rat woman, because there's like rats running around in the background. You know, she's sleeping with this big rat. I think she really is just the rat woman, and I think that's pretty sick. I like to think that growing up, Underbelly Bonnie was around a bunch of like crazy cat women, right? They're like, oh, there's the crazy cat lady, there's the crazy cat woman, right? And she was like, you know what?
She's not even
the crazy rat lady.
If she was a
right? Maybe she liked rats more than cats, and so she just became the crazy rat lady and then lives in the sewers. I think that'd be a pretty cool backstory. We don't actually know her backstory, but you know what? That's her backstory to me. And that's really all that matters. And so that's why Bastard the Rat is number 5. 4. Number 4 is the Dalaran sewer rat that is around 4 turtles. And clearly this is a reference to the Ninja Turtles.
Oh, this was in one of our Easter eggs videos on this channel. We used to do, and maybe I should get back doing that. We used to like out of shorts where I like point out Easter eggs and stuff on this channel. And we have one where this Ninja Turtles reference is that this rat is Master Splinter. And they're the Ninja Turtles, and they're all those kind of alchemic reagents, right? Like those bottles with like some green liquid and stuff. And that's a reference that they start drinking this and they mutate. Because that's, I think, the origin, right, of the Ninja Turtles. They were like drinking some radioactive stuff or something, and that's how they mutated, became smart and human-like.
4 turtles, and clearly this is a reference to the Ninja Turtles, with Splinter being the rat, so I'm just going to call him Splinter the rat. I also like that they put a bunch of beakers of chemicals and stuff around, kind of to reference like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, you know, they're like morphing from the chemicals and stuff. Yeah, I always liked this reference. I wanted to put it in a pointless top 10 at some point, I just never knew when. I was going to put it in pointless top 10 turtles, which I'll put up in the notes up top there if you want to check it out, but I was like, I don't know, maybe rats would be better, because it's like Master Splinter's teaching the turtles as the rat. And here we are.
Imagine he was actually close.
The Dalaran sewer rat / Splinter is number 4. 3. Number 3 is Sea Rat, and Sea Rat is a rat in a bubble that walks around underwater, specifically around Kaloa, who is a Tortolan that is the master tailkeep of whale.
I actually wish the Tortolans were an allied race. I actually think Tortolans would be so fun to play. I would love to play a Tortolan Resto Shaman. Why? because those turtles, those tortones, they are like very close to water, kind of, you could say, right? And now imagine you're on a resto shaman tortolan. I would love this character. Or even druid. I think as druids they will maybe come with cool forms. Like, there's so many actually races, the Tuskar, the Tortolans, that have potential to be more than just like random NPC races. Like, they could be playable. Like, why the Tortolans don't join the freaking Horde, right? And the Alliance gets the Tuskar or something. I think that would actually make sense, right? Or the other way around. No, wait. I think Tuskar are more like Alliance and the Tortolans are more like Horde. From if you look at their culture and stuff, right? Because Tortolans, they give me a little bit of Tauren vibes in their behavior and stuff, right? While the Tuskar are kind of... I like the Tuskars like based on like Siberian culture or something, like Eskimos and stuff, like the very northeast of the globe. I think they are, right? So they are like not too far from like human culture. So the Tuskar, they would fit the Alliance. The Tortolans, they would really go well with Horde, I think.
Rat, and Sea Rat is a rat in a bubble that walks around underwater, specifically around Kaloa, who is a Tortolan that is the master tailkeep of Whale's Belly. And Whale's Belly is a club located in the skeletal remains of a large aquatic creature, likely a Threshodon, in the middle of Tiragard Sound. But that's besides the point. The main point here is there's a rat in a bubble walking around.
That's cool.
And, you know, some people might be like, is this even deserving of number 3? It's just a rat in a bubble walking around.
It should be a battle pet, and if you summon it to follow you, because in WoW you can summon pets to follow you, it is a bubble that's like flying with you. No matter where you go, you have this rat in a bubble that's like chasing behind you. And it just follows you in every footstep. That would be a cool battle pet.
Around underwater. But if you say that, listen to what you just said. This is a rat in a bubble. Underwater. He has figured out how to be underwater. Although for some reason, a bunch of other people can just breathe underwater down here. I don't even know. So maybe he doesn't even need the bubble. It doesn't matter. He is walking around underwater like he's above water. There are probably no other rats in this game that can even do that. He's also a pretty big rat, to be honest. He looks a lot bigger than some of the other rats. So I think this guy deserves to be way up on this list. And that's why Sea Rat is number 3. Number 2 is Keeper's the Rat. And not only is Keeper's a rat innkeeper, but he is one of Rexar's companions at Breaker's Crown in Gorgrond. Breaker's Crown is a neutral camp in Gorgrond where Rexar and his companions are located, and 3 of his deceased animals are actually buried here. I mean, listen, the reason Keeper's is number 2 is he's a rat innkeeper, right? Like, that's insane. How often do you see a rat innkeeper? Plus, I just love the thought process of all this, right? Like, Rexar had to be like, listen, I need like an innkeeper at my camp. Who's it gonna be? And he's like, it's gotta be my rat.
Can it speak to
But did he name the rat Keepers and then make him an innkeeper? Or was he like, this rat is now the innkeeper? You know what? He should be named Keepers, right? I'm curious which came first, right? The Keepers or the innkeeper? Truly one of the philosophical questions of our time. But I mean, listen, he's a rat innkeeper. How can he not be on this list? How could he not be high up on this list? And that's why Keepers is number 2.
About philosophical questions, I have a joke for you guys, and that's a goblin joke, right? What came first, the egg or the mecha chicken? What do you guys think? Was it first the egg or the mecha chicken that came? You wanna know what came first? It was the cock.
1. And number 1 is pretty much this entire Deep Run Rat Roundup quest line. I know that's not, some people say, that's not a rat. Okay, calm down. This is the thing that I think about the most when I think of rats in World of Warcraft. It is this quest line where you have to get the flute, you play the little doo-doo-doo, and then all the rats come to you,
that's also
and then you lead them back to Monty, the gnome pirate, and he pretty much packages them up and sends you down to the other side of the tram,
he's the rat
where
catcher.
his brother Nipsey makes rat kebabs. And it's kind of messed up when you think about it. Like, you're luring these rats and then killing them and then making rat kebabs out of it. But it's probably one of the oldest rat quests in the game. Probably some of the oldest rats in the game.
Yeah,
it's just a very memorable quest line. So when you talk to him, he says, Monty be me name, and rats be me game. Avast ye scallywag. Are ye looking for work?
This kind of pirate language,
rat problem
right?
down here, and not enough hands on the poop deck. What do ye say? All ye need to do is take this here rat-catching flute and play the melody around the vermin. They'll follow ye to the ends of the world. Just capture 5 of the little buggers and bring them back here. We need them alive. Arr. And then he says, "These'll work nicely, matey. Me brother needs 'em still ticklin' and kickin', else they go sour, and ye don't want to taste no sour rat kebab." And that's pretty much it. However, this is the Deep Run tram, right? There's a never-ending supply of rats. They just constantly live here. It's kind of like the New York subway, right? Like, there's never not going to be a rat in that subway. And so, just the fact that this is a very kind of nostalgic, historic quest line, and it does involve a lot of rats. There's a whole bunch of rats in the area. Everybody's been here, and that's why it's number 1. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this episode of Pointless Top 10. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Also, if you want to check out some other Pointless Top 10s, we just had Pointless NPCs last week.
Oh yeah,
also, we had Pointless Top 10 Turtles that I mentioned in this video, and now you can just click on it right there and go watch it.
I think we haven't done Turtles. I'm not sure, but we did the NPCs. It was really fun. Like, I love checking out the series from Pointless Top 10. I'm actually surprised that not so many are actually reacting to that. Like, I think it's so funny to react to that kind of content. This is always interesting, gives you like a nice love, right? I sometimes also like know a couple of those shown here, right? Or I remember them from a quest, so this brings back some good memories for me. Oh, wow. But yeah, there are like many Easter eggs here. Wow, it's crazy. Like a lot of like movie references. Like we have this with Ratatouille, with like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and all that, right? But yeah, this lady that sleeps with a rat. Why is it called? Why is this rat so big? That's like a mutant or something, maybe. But yeah, I know there's like a rat battle pet. Yeah, you can also catch them. Like if I'm not mistaken. Is this Elwyn Forest or somewhere? I saw like rats you can actually tame and make them battle pets. I don't have one because I have like those super rare pets. But like if you are like common pets and you want to have a rat, it's definitely possible to actually tame them, I remember. But yeah, if you guys are new to this channel, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more content. If you guys enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give this one a thumbs up. And if you see any Pointless Top 10 video that we missed and you want us to check it out, like leave it also in the comment section. Because I don't think we have done all of them. I know at least of like 2 or 3 that we missed. But hey, there's so much stuff that we have to react to still. I have like a big list even. So yeah, I'm trying to catch up with everything. So yeah, let's see. Maybe we get back to another in a couple of days. And yeah, I will see you guys next time.